branded, you now have been exposed. Your view expanded, so now just use your soul. So theorists introducing a dude that's on his grind. Conspiracy theory, Thursdays has music for your mind. No matter where you are at 11, tune in your dial to CTT and the boys with soul who rep the South. Soul Quest on the track, Shy P on the flow, Kenny Brown on the hook, Mr. Instance on with the show. You got something to say, it's been burning your mind. It's conspiracy theory, it's here to help your eyes. Go ahead and call the show, Mr. Instance the host. Don't be afraid to speak it, because anything goes. You got something to say, it's been burning your mind. It's conspiracy theory, it's here to help your eyes. Go ahead and call the show, Mr. Instance the host. Don't be afraid to speak it, because anything goes.
Yeah, well, this is Sophia Stewart online. Been waiting.
Oh, okay. Hey, Sophia, how you doing? This is Mr. Instance on the line with me. My co-host Vegas, and one of our other Vintage Music partners, Big Rich, out of Oakland.
Okay,
how you
doing?
Ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing really good.
Okay, well, basically, I was reading some info that Mr. Brandon has sent me in regarding to your situation, and basically, I mean, if you want to just start out, just letting the listeners know, the basic, I guess, just giving everybody just a little, insight on, what's going on with your situation.
What everybody needs to know, I'll make some corrections that you guys were talking about. For one thing, I wrote a book called The Third Eye and a movie treatment called The Third Eye also. And what happened was I saw Star Wars in the late 70s and saw George Lucas' concept talking about Satan or Darth Vader, that's the devil falling from the light to the dark. And I came up with a great concept of my own, the second coming of Christ, because the first coming was told in the Bible, but never the second coming. It was just mentioned in Revelation that he would come back. And an idea was born in me, with this story, the evolutions of consciousness or man versus the machines. Because when Christ comes back, he'd come back through the womb and he'd be up against technology in the future. So that story was born in me, and I'm a gifted writer besides that of seer, like Nostradamus and Leonardo da Vinci. So I sent my work over, the movie treatment, over to George Lucas at 20th Century Fox. That's how they got to possess it in the first place. And anyway, a vice president saw the treatment and they went crazy over it and they wanted to buy it. So they asked me if I had anything else on it. I told them I was currently writing a book. And they told me, well, when you finish the book, we'd like it. Well, I didn't finish the book till the winter of '83, and I sent them the book, and then that's when they got to giving me the runaround. Well, all along I didn't know it. They was making a Terminator behind my back. And this is where the Terminator and the Matrix is one. Because I wrote an entire book.
Wow.
Yeah, so the beginning of that book is the Terminator franchise, and the middle and the ending is the Matrix franchise. And you can't get franchises from a script. You have to write a great deal of work, special effects, graphics, characters. They have to be developed and so forth. And so like I was saying, I had no idea about the Terminator. They gave me the runaround. They told me to get an agent. I got an agent. I went to USC Film School, the same film school that Lucas and Spielberg went to. I got a degree in journalism, double minor in law and psychology, so I'm a paralegal also. And like I said, I didn't know anything about any theft until March 31st, 1999, when The Matrix came out. And when I saw The Matrix on the screen, I saw my work on the screen and characters. And I was like, wow, no one had paid me for it. So I called up Warner Brothers legal department, because I'm a paralegal, and I had worked for law firms before. And when I contacted them, they knew who I was and everything, and they offered me a settlement with a gag. Well, I'm not interested in a settlement and a gag because, like I told you, I'm a gifted writer, and a writer wants their work to continue.
Right.
So they tried to negotiate with me, but some of the witnesses that work for Warner Brothers told me not to settle with them, that there were plenty of Warner Brothers employees saw the Wachowskis using my book on the movie sets. So I broke all negotiations off with them for the settlement, and that's when they went out and copywritten The Matrix again, April 16th, 1999, committing fraud. They had already a fraudulent 94 copyright, which I had my attorneys that they sent to me pull up. And when they pulled it up, they found that it was a script that did not relate to the Matrix movie at all, had no relations. It was talking about Neo siphoning gas out of his father's minivan to put into his Pinto. They used a bogus script and a fraudulent copyright to get money from banks and corporations or finance companies. Because if you don't have a copyright, you can't get any finances. So they used that bogus copyright to get money.
Right.
A lot of people don't know this. And so when Lawrence Wachowski was getting a divorce from Thea Bloom, she told in the state court that Larry and Andy Wachowskis never wrote Matrix 1. They wrote Matrix 2 and 3, but they did not write Matrix 1. Now in California, it's a community property state. And if you get a divorce, you're going to have to break up that money and share it. So the judge asked them, when did they write The Matrix? Well, they lied in a declaration and told the judge they wrote The Matrix in 93. Then they knew that they couldn't prove that, so they declared that declaration a lie, null and void. And then turned around and told another lie in the state court and told the judge that they wrote The Matrix before 93, but they had to go to Chicago to find some proof. Well, in the meanwhile, while I was reading their briefs and so forth, I told my attorneys, not aware that they were crooked and sent by Warner Brothers and them to derail me because they had made $8 billion off of my book, The Third Eye, when they made the Matrix and Terminator franchises. So I told the crooked attorneys of mine, my former attorneys, to go and pull up that 1994 copyright because I know it was fraudulent and bogus, and that would win me the lawsuit. Paid them $1,500. They went into Washington, D.C. to the Copyright Office, pulled it up, and they shared it among themselves. There was 4 of them, 4 different law firms, and they're pedigreed law firms. They're not your everyday mom-and-pop law firms. They're Beverly Hills law firm, Fifth Avenue, New York law firm, a Washington State law firm, and a Pasadena law firm.
Right.
But I didn't know that these people had sent, Warner Brothers and studios had sent these lawyers to prevent me from going to trial, because if we went to trial and my lawyers entered that bogus 94 copyright in there and the other ones from James Cameron, they were all going to go to jail for fraud.
Yeah, man.
It was criminal copyright infringement. But I had gone to the FBI June the 10th, 1999, when I broke off the settlement negotiations. And the FBI told me, we'll interview you. We are the ones who determine what kind of case this is going to be. And after they interviewed me for several hours, they told me it was a theft case. And after they started investigating, they're the ones who told me that I wrote The Terminator and The Matrix after their evidence was in.
Wow.
They discussed key pieces of evidence with me, witnesses, and so forth. And now go back to the story of the 94 copyright. My lawyers that I got in court right now is not just a malpractice lawsuit. It's a fraud and malpractice lawsuit, which can send these guys to jail and Warner Brothers attorneys to jail. Because Warner Brothers attorneys knew about the 94 bogus copyright. That's a felony offense to pull up a fraudulent copyright and you know it's fraudulent, and then you set out liens. You contrive a malpractice case because all of this lies that they slanders and defamation that they got on the internet that I did not show up for my hearing is bogus bull crap, because I've done over 4,000 interviews, and I'm talking about front page newspapers, magazines, radio, and any kind of print magazine you can imagine in interviews.
Right.
So why would I be afraid to show up for my own deposition? And I'm recorded on BET, CNN News, ABC, and so forth.
Yeah, when I was reading that, it didn't even seem like it even made any sense, you know. Let me ask you a quick question, though. Well, I know you said that they had offered you, you know, some kind of settlement, you know, and like almost a gag order or whatever.
They offered me 2 settlements. The first one, I told you I aborted and went to the FBI, and they admit that in the court documents. I have the court documents. You can pull them up. They're public, you know, papers and so forth, where they admit to the judge in the first case in California that, yeah, they stole the Terminator from me, and that the statute of limitations had ran out because it was 20-some-odd years. The judge cautions them and told them to admit to stealing the Terminator from me is willful intent, because I didn't know anything about the theft. I just discovered the theft from the FBI in 2001, and I had them in a court case by 2003. And she says that the time of theft started ticking on the clock the moment of discovery, and I didn't discover it until 2001. So the time has not ran. The statutes of limitations had not ran out for me. And then because they were trying to rely on the gag order, like we offered her settlement, and that's a gag. You know, it should be gagged, and she told them the settlement was aborted by Ms. Stewart, so it can't be gagged if it's aborted. You can't have the privilege of the gag. Then Governor Schwarzenegger in November of 2006, he offered me $5 million because he owned 5% of the Terminator. And that famous tagline, "I'll be back," is from me. I wrote that.
Wow. Wow.
So James Cameron and Gail Ann Hurd and all these people have told you guys a bunch of lies. And they know that if I went to trial with them, all of the hoax and lies and all the frauds and everything that they have committed will come out. And a lot of people don't like liars and thievery.
Right.
So that was gonna mess them all up.
Yeah.
So what was is it still going on? Is the court thing still?
Well, yes, of course it's still going on, because the reason why it's still going on is because the judge, all of these people were Scientologists, and I had no idea that they were all Scientologists, because years ago in the early 80s, I also had submitted to L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of the Scientology Church, had a contest, a Writer of the Future contest. And I entered that Writer of the Future contest. L. Ron Hubbard couldn't write science fiction, so he was looking for a science fiction manuscript for a writer. And I submitted all my work to the church, and come to find out years later also, when my other new lawyers started investigating, the ones in Utah, we discovered that the Scientology Church had put out this movie called Battlefield Earth with the Scientologist John Travolta, and it had core elements from my book. And one of my lawyers, Michael T. Stoller, had distributed or helped distribute this movie for the church with Warner Brothers. And here were the connections to the fraud, because the judge was the lead counsel for the Scientology Church, Margaret Morrow, and she had worked for Warner Brothers. When the media, like the reporters had interviewed, they had interviewed me, and they started investigating the case. They found out that Judge Morrow was the lead counsel for the Scientology Church, and that she had worked for Warner Brothers, and they was wondering why she would not recuse herself, because that's a conflict of interest. Then my lawyers, I knew they were all Scientologists. Some of them belonged to the church. Some of them had worked for the church. Some of them had been, given work from the Scientology Church. And they were all in cahoots together. The defendants, they were Scientologists, the judge, my attorneys, because they told me that Scientology Church wanted to help me. They preserved and protected the artists from being stolen from, and all they were trying to preserve and protect was their own hides.
Right, basically.
It's just like this. Let me give everybody a good example. I'm in a court case, and everybody is Ku Klux Klan. The judge is a Ku Klux Klanman. My attorneys that are supposed to be defending me are Klansmen. The defendants are Ku Klux Klan. So how can I get a fair trial? Everybody belongs to the same club, but me.
Right. That's I understand. We actually did a little brief, not. We didn't go anywhere in depth, but I looked up, a little bit about Scientology a couple weeks ago, and we just touched on it, a little bit, because I know a lot of these entertainers out there in Hollywood are like into this whole Scientology thing, and like I said, I don't know a lot about it, but it just, of course, it seems strange, but but I understand, with you, dealing with certain people from the same entity or whatever, that stuff is not gonna go your way when you're an outsider, But
yeah,
I got
well, it's just like go ahead. Just like
I was gonna say, I got some. Go ahead.
Or when I was saying that if they are all Ku Klux Klansmen, I don't even have a chance. If they're all like buddies and they belong to the same clubhouse and they're all in the same club and they're all in the same thing, because in the beginning when Johnny Cochran called for my case and called to do my case before he got sick, the late Johnny Cochran passed away, he told me the first judge on my case was a black judge named Terry J. Hatter Jr. And Terry J. Hatter Jr., he told me was in the part of the civil rights era during the Martin Luther King time period, and he was a fair judge, and he would bend over backwards to make sure that I got a fair trial. Well, the defendants, they knew about Hatter's reputation, so they got Hatter off the case right away. They went out and hired his son. His son is an attorney, and of course the judge had to recuse himself. Then they tried to get Matthew Burns. He's a white judge, federal judge, and they had done some cases with him before, but he didn't like judge tampering, and it pissed him off. And so he declined them straight out, like, no, he would not do the case. Then after that, they got their own judge, Judge Margaret M. Morrow, who's that lead counsel for the Scientology Church. Then they brought her on. And that's how they were able to contrive the malpractice lawsuit and all this stuff and lie about me not being there when they did not even let me know about the deposition. And Warner Brothers attorneys wrote letters talking about how my attorneys prevented me from appearing on any depositions. And they barred me from speaking, and they lied in the courtroom, and the defendants had not one script, not one movie, not anything. And the judge lied and said that she compared my work with their work, and there was no substantial similarity when there was nothing in there. All the defendants had in the courts were a front cover, the cover of the script, the 94 cover of the script, which is nothing, and a witness who had never read my book that lied under oath.
Wow. I mean, I feel, and I know the listeners can probably, go ahead and co-sign on this, but I hear the frustration and the anger in your voice as you're telling us your story. So, and I basically, I feel for you.
I don't have any anger about it, but people need to know how far people will go to preserve $8 billion and discredit the true owner of the copyright. Those copyrights and franchises belong to me. It's just like this. If you have a house, and that house is my house, and you're in that house illegally, and you got a fake deed and I got a real deed, I can enter that real deed into the court system, but you had better not enter that fake deed in there, because that fake deed entering into a federal court will send you to jail because that's fraud. And so they couldn't enter their fraudulent copyrights or scripts or movies into that court.
Wow. Man.
Is there anything that could...
Go ahead.
Is there anything for that you would any advice that you would give any up and coming writers that probably are listening tonight, what they could do to probably protect themselves against that?
People are getting stolen from that have copyrights. I've told people you always got to have a copyright, but that doesn't stop a thief from stealing. It's the same process in the stores. You got stores, and guess what? People go in there and steal in stores every day. They have the insurance, they have everything. They have cops, they have all kinds. But does that deter anybody from stealing when they go in a store?
Okay.
There's not gonna. You can't stop a thief. If a thief wants your work, it doesn't matter if you have 10 copyrights. If they want to steal it, they're going to steal it. The thing that you need to do is that you need to know what you can do to take your property back when they've stolen it.
Right.
That's the key. And there's a movie out called... Go ahead.
I said, don't go in there OJ style, you know.
Well, OJ has nothing to do with the process of copyright theft and the way they're stealing from different varieties of people, and it's not just black people, it's just people of color, and there's other people that have property, because a copyright is a property. It's meaning that you have a legacy, and that's your property, and these people in Hollywood have been stealing and getting summary judgments against a lot of people. It's a racket where they pay off judges, and it's a whole corrupt system. And my case seemed to be the case that's going to bust that whole corruption to the ground and bring out the facts that people need to know. That's why I want people to go and see that movie, A Flash of Genius, because A Flash of Genius tells you that you don't even need lawyers to beat these people, because you're going up against corporations, and a corporation is what it is, a corpse. It's just, that's why they call it corporation. You're not going up against any blood, human being of flesh and blood. So therefore you can beat a corporation. A man went in pro se, and he beat them because, just like I told you, they don't want you to go to trial because they cannot enter fraudulent documents into that court system. So they try to shut it down and get a summary judgment before anything is entered in there to send them to jail.
Right. Wow.
So
that's
you
crazy.
need to know that.
Cool. We got a few callers on the line, so I'm going to start taking some calls. I got a call from the 323. You're on the line. 323? How you doing? Are you there? All right, well, maybe they don't want to talk to us. So we got a private caller on the line, so we're going to go ahead and mic them up. 323, when you want to get back on, just call back in and I'll mic you up or something. So private caller, you're on the line. CTT, what's good?
Oh, hi, I'm a private caller. Is that me? Am I on one?
Yeah, that must be you. Cause
I actually, a friend of mine told me to call in. I don't really have questions. I'm just fascinated listening to Sophia talk, and it's inspiring, and it's horrible what's happened. How are you living now, Sophia? I mean, this stuff that you did, like, what do you do now for to support yourself?
I'm a paralegal. I've always...
Oh, my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. My book is phenomenal. It's sold out twice, sold around the country, around the world, actually. And it sells autographed $100 a copy because it's memorabilia. It's the Matrix and The Terminator, and $50 unautographed. And
wow.
I'm in the library. The Canadian people have already showed me great honor by putting me in their library there.
Yeah. What's it called?
And the book is called The Third Eye. It's been selling. It's sold out on Amazon. And we're getting ready to do a book tour and to sell more books. A lot of the FBI agents have autographed copies. Oprah and her producers have 2 copies, and they say when I win this lawsuit, they want me on their show, and and that they would try to fit me in into something else that would come in that would fit the copyright laws. But it's something that needs to be addressed on all talk shows because it's property and it's a legacy for owners.
Yeah. I mean, you know, your story is just unreal, and just everybody needs you. We need you to win this. You know.
Exactly. Because you know, making $8 billion off of a work is they made like anywhere from 3 to 5 here in the United States, and it's still making money, and anywhere like I think about 6 or 8 million, 6 probably million overseas.
And I came on the call late. I didn't get here right at 8. But are they coming to a point now where you're going to go to trial?
Yeah, we're going to trial. We're like next month, December the 17th. We set a trial date, but one of the lawyers is trying to settle out now, of course, and they're going to turn against each other because, you know, like nature tell you, the rats are the first to jump ship. And if you ever see a ship going down and you start seeing rats running off of there, then you better get off because that ship is sinking. The rats will try to beat you off of that boat.
Right.
Yes, Sophia. I definitely feel how you feel, man. It was like crazy when I seen my movie on TV. When I seen it on the movie that was, I believe in my heart, that was stolen from me. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have no way. I didn't have no way of getting back at him. You know, so.
Well, I understand because you didn't write it. You just told her your story, and this person wrote the story, and you never got a chance to copyright it or anything. You just told them a story, and they just ran with your story. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, that's right.
He's pretty much
Hollywood. They're very notorious for that. You can't go around telling them stuff because, as you can see, they're doing remakes, rehash, because they don't have any creativity. They steal creativity. That's a fact.
Wow.
They've got more. The reason why you don't hear about a lot of the lawsuits is because the FBI told me they will settle those lawsuits and gag them. And they offered the man in that movie, Flash of Genius, they offered him up to $30 million to be quiet. But that man wanted his credit. He wanted his credit because the money is in the credit. And not only is the money in the credit, but you continue your genius work. People from all over can come and work with you, and you want to continue. Like Beethoven wanted to continue his work. He was deaf, and he continued his composition. Aretha Franklin are all great architects and singers and artists, painters, Picasso. They want to continue their work. And these Wachowskis have told you guys a lie. Look, who let a $1 billion franchise sit there and gather dust for 5 years because you had lied to people and told them it was your genius work, but you're going over here buying work from Alan Moore, V for Vendetta, or you're going over and buying the Japanese man's work, old speed racers from the 70s, and all of this work is never going to make as much money as continuing the Matrix franchise. That's a $1 billion franchise. Right now, I'm getting ready to do Matrix 4, Breaking the Codes. Matrix 4, The Evolution, Breaking the Codes. And, of course, as soon as we get into development and start creating it, those tickets for the movie is going to be sold out even before the movie is made. Am I right or wrong?
Now,
the whole world is waiting for the next installment of The Matrix.
Now, with you saying that and you having all your issues with, pretty much the people at Warner Brothers, the people, in the legal system that are pretty much running this stuff, I know we had one of the actors from The Matrix, Marcus Chong, we had him on a few weeks ago, and he was just telling us just about the whole situation, basically his situation, about him not getting any kind of residuals and him basically being blackballed. So what's the sense that it might happen to you, as far as, you say you want to...
just like I told you, I own the copyrights to the franchise. I am the legal and the only rightful owner, and they would have to sue me to prove that I stole it from them. So I'd like to see that, since my copyrights are 81, 83, and 84, and theirs is 94 and 99, and James Cameron's is 84. Now, I would like to see how could they say that I stole it from them when I already had the characters, the special effects, the graphics, the book, and the movie treatment, which is a form of script. Now, can you beat that? I'd like to see them enter their fraudulent copyrights into this court system and try to sue me. I would welcome that, because you know what? If you go on Amazon right now, Amazon.com, you'll see that I'm using the Matrix and the Terminator, and I'll use it as much as I please, and I will sell Matrix and Terminator merchandise, and I would welcome them to try to sue me. I'm the rightful owner.
Wow.
Now, how about that?
Hey.
Are you currently selling that stuff?
I can sell it. The feds know. The FBI know that I'm the rightful and only legal owner.
I know, but are you? I'm just curious. Are you selling that stuff right now on
Amazon? I will. Most definitely will.
Like if you
I'm
were
using
to
the
do
images.
Right now.
That's right. I will sell it right now. I will sell it right now, and not a thing will be done to me. That I guarantee you.
Right.
I'm using the images. I've made a commercial out of the Matrix and the Terminator, and there are no cease and desist letters coming to me. I wish they would. And that bogus $300,000 judgment they got, they have not wrote me one letter asking for a dime, because you know why? You can't extort the real owner and the rightful owner of the copyrights. The FBI knows that I'm the rightful owner. I'd love to see them send me a letter and try to collect. Right now, they're getting ready to go to jail for entering liens into the Nevada, Utah, and the California federal courts. They committed perjury, and that won't go away even if they settle with me. Like, say, for instance, today I decide to settle with them. That perjury will not go away. I would have to write it. I would have to write off on it. They don't own any copyrights. They have come to me, and there was a witness on the phone, Ron Brazil, when they asked me for the copyrights. They wanted me to give them the copyrights to the Matrix and the Terminator and to sign off on the case so they won't be prosecuted for committing perjury and fraud in a federal court. You guys don't understand law, but I can break it down to you where you can understand it quite clear. I can break it down where any kid can understand law. And you guys need to understand something. If you got a house, and that's my house, and you're in my house, and you got a fraudulent deed, and I take you to court, I guarantee you're not going to put that fraudulent deed in that court. You're not going to enter it, because you'll go to jail as soon as you enter that fraudulent deed in there. As soon as it checks out that my deed is real and yours is fake, you're going to jail. Now think about that one.
Oh, yeah.
Now, does it take a rocket scientist to figure out I can sell anything I want of the Matrix and Terminator? Right. You better believe it. The FBI are like police. They're law enforcement. They gather evidence. And they're the ones who go out and make the arrests. I guarantee they won't knock on my door. I'm talking to them all the time and giving them evidence and paperwork on these people.
So when are these people going to, when are you going to get your justice?
What is my justice? Let me ask you that. What is,
they can't justify anything, but they can compensate.
No, I want to ask you, what is my justice? Because I want to see exactly how much law you guys know.
I don't know any law at all. I'm a layman.
Okay, but you got some idea of what my justice is supposed to be. What is my justice supposed to be?
Well, I think, in my opinion, I think they should all...
Yeah, in your opinion.
In my opinion, I think that it should be publicly stated, what happened, and that you should get, all the compensation that is due you from all these projects, and that the people involved should be punished legally, whether it's jail
Thank you. Exactly. That's exactly what the justice is. Justice should be.
I don't know what the legal punishment is, but they should definitely get that, whatever it is,
Right, because right now I have gotten like the credit, because my name is huge, it's branded. Now, they need to put in all their papers that they own, and they own a lot of media, that Sophia Stewart is the rightful and lawful owner of the copyrights and the real writer of The Matrix and The Terminator. They need to do that because they've offered money. I need people to know that money is no object for these people. They want you to take that money and be gagged and be quiet and shut up and go someplace and spend the money and not let people know that you are the real writer and owner of the work.
So what is it you want when you get your day in court? What do you want?
I want people to know the truth, that I am the rightful owner and legal owner and the only owner of the Matrix and the Terminator. And I put the book out to show that. They never put an injunction on my book. I want them to publicly acknowledge it in the media.
Yes, and what else do you want?
And I want to be paid exactly the money that's due me for my work. That's
How much
right.
is that? How much is that? Do you know?
They owe me $1 billion right now. $1 billion, exactly.
So, okay, and
that's
then
right. They owe me $1 billion.
The people that ripped you off, what kind of punishment should they get, or can they legally get?
They should go to jail for committing fraud and for lying and all the other despicable things that they've done. So this can stop. So they can stop stealing from the people, because
do you think
people
that they
think
could
that they're going to
end up going to jail? Can they end up going to jail?
Of course they can go to jail. We got a black president in the house. Did you think that would be impossible?
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah,
so is it impossible for them to go to jail? Is it impossible for them to go to jail?
Anything can happen now. I'm kidding.
Well, okay, because now you understand there is no limitations. There is nothing to stop anything. You can make anything that you want happen. It's left up to you. Look, I'm fighting for my credit and for dignity of the right thing for people to stand up for truth.
Mm-hmm.
And people they can win by standing up for truth. Why do people have to take money and be gagged and lose their dignity? And look at Jesse Jackson crying in the rain. Well, he's crying in the rain because he could have went that route that Obama went. Obama stood for truth. Mm-hmm. He wasn't afraid to stand for truth. A lot of people are like, oh, you're not going to do it. You can't go up against the machines. You can't go up against this in the Matrix. And what did Obama say? I can do whatever.
Yep.
And Sophia Stewart is saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. I've been fighting for 4 years, but I can do whatever. Mm-hmm. I am going to stand for truth. And you know what? Everybody should stand up for truth.
Right
or fall for nothing. You guys know that these people lied, but did any of you come behind me? I'm talking about, yeah, there was a lot of people who helped me. And there was white people that helped me also. But the people who said that they matter in this world didn't come behind Sophia Stewart. There was no NAACP coming behind Sophia Stewart, no Rainbow Push Jesse Jackson. There was no BET, no Oprah. Where were all of them at?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Wow, that's good. Hey, we got some other
and
callers
no Martin
on the
Luther
line,
King Foundation. Go ahead.
We got some other callers on the line. We're approaching 9 minutes, up into the new hour. So, guys want to call in 347-215-8653. I'm going to go ahead and mic up my boy from the 478. You on live with Sophia Stewart on CTT. What's good with you?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Hey, what's good, bro?
I'm not really talking. I'm just listening to the conversation, I don't really have too much to say. I'm just listening, because I can understand people getting there. It's always good to hear somebody trying to get their due,
Right.
That's all it's about, is somebody getting their due. You just want to get their due.
She brought up some good points about, a lot of these big people that are supposed to be helping a lot of people out, like the NAACP and stuff like that. And a lot of that, man, I noticed, man, it seems like once your story, is out there and somebody else has done the legwork to help you out, it seems like a lot of those, entities just kind of jump on the bandwagon.
Oh, definitely. Oh, that's always been. That was like that for Reuben Hurricane Carter. The same thing happened to him. And when if you saw the picture of the hurricane, and I remember that. I remember that story when I was a kid. So that's not nothing unusual. That's always been the case. So,
yeah, well, see, this is the deal. They want to come when you get all that money. When you get that $1 billion, all of them will come with their hands out. But you know what? They won't be getting nothing from Sophia Stewart because all the people that supported me, I remember them, and I know them. All the organizations who came behind me, I remember them and know them and got their names and numbers and their donations and everything else that they've done for Sophia Stewart. And I'm going to have to give away some of that money because that's the way it is for tax breaks and so forth. You have to donate a lot of that money. And it's going to go to the people who supported truth because I'm not giving anything to people who sit up there and waited and say, I'm going to wait till you win. Okay, good. You wait till I win because when I win, I won't need you. So what are you waiting for?
Right.
That's a good thing, yeah. Well, because you know what you got to do. That's a good thing. Yeah.
Well, you gotta have it here.
I'm always going to do the right thing, and I'm always going to do a truthful thing, and I'm going to always take a stand for truth and hope that others will be as strong and come and join me for the truth because they see that Obama stood for truth, and he went all the way, and magnificent things happen to people who stand for truth. That movie, Flash of Genius, so how that man, he was abandoned by his family, but he stood for truth. They had to be truthful with him, and he ended up with great victory.
Will you be starting any?
A great reward.
Will you be starting any organizations to probably help others in your situation in the future?
Yes, I will, most definitely. That is one of my number one priorities, to help a lot of people and to help people in the city to win cases and finance their cases so they can win, to give them my legal expertise and hire lawyers for them that are righteous and not the kind of lawyers that will just take their money. Like a guy, he gave me $50,000. You got to think about that because he believed in me. And these crooked lawyers took that $50,000, and that is what got the fraud charges on them so heavily, because they took money from Warner Brothers and they took money from me. Now, they probably wouldn't have been so bad off if they had came and said that we're doing it pro bono. You know what I'm saying? But once you do something for money and you pull a fast one, well, you're gonna go down. You can't beat fraud when you take somebody's money. When you take $50,000, well, you can't beat that. There are certain things in the legal field that you can't beat. You can't beat fraud. You can't knock down any sworn affidavit. If you don't come back with a sworn affidavit, notarized sworn affidavit, it stands as truth. If you can't knock that down. You can't beat tax evasions, and you can't beat RICO. Those are the four things that you can't beat in any courts. And if anybody does any of those four things, well, hey, you got a problem.
Wow. Yeah, we got one of our other kind of co-hosts. He hosts a show on Saturday. He's part of the Vintage Music family. I got him mic'd up. Big Will, what's good with you, man? You want to say something to Sophia?
Yeah, man. I want to say, wow, it's a pleasure to meet the real creator behind both the Terminator and the Matrix, man. I'm like, wow, I didn't know all this legal stuff was, all this other stuff was going on on the off scene, but wow, it's like, yeah, it's cool. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good. Glad to meet you.
It's same here. Your story is kind of like reminiscent to like what happened to the creator of the Cheetah Girls also. So I mean, I guess that goes on a lot in the movie business. So like I said, I hope you get your justice and what's supposed to be rightfully yours and your proper credit.
Oh, I will, because I'm not the type of person I'm not a loser. I'm a winner, and a winner never quits, and a quitter, he never wins. See, I'm a winner. I'm not going to stop until I get everything that Sophia Stewart deserves, because Sophia Stewart is going to be an example for all the other people who are afraid to step up for truth.
Yeah, you sound like a go-getter.
Oh, I'm definitely that. If you look at my track record, I've completed everything I've ever started out to do in life. And I'm going to complete this. These people cannot beat the truth. And if you guys think that, then you need to really realize what truth is. You can beat anybody down with the truth. I can tell you right now, any man, they just like that movie, you can't handle, like Jack Nicholson said in that movie, some people cannot handle the truth.
Yeah,
the truth is like medicine. It's bitter to the taste, but after a while, when it starts working on you, you start to feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
You can't beat the truth. It is what it is.
Am I still on the line, or am I cut out now? Hello?
Yes, you are still on the line.
I am.
Can I get your name?
My name is
so
Liz.
You don't have, Liz, cool. You don't have to give us your real name, but it's just some kind of name so we can.
Yeah, that's my real name.
You.
My real name is Liz. Yeah.
Hey, Liz.
Hey, what's your name?
This is Mr. Incense.
Mr. Innocence?
Incense.
I'm sorry, Incense. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then you're on the line, of course, with Sophia, and we got Big Will from Saturdays.
I was just tagging on to the other guys. The only two movies that I've ever bought in my life were The Matrix, and that's because I was having a real major problem in my life, and there's a psychic woman that I was consulting with. She said, go buy The Matrix. And she said, watch that scene with the psychic, and watch what she says to Keanu Reeves, you know. Yeah. So that movie is the only movie I've ever purchased, like a long time ago, and True Romance. Those two films are the only films I've ever. Just so.
Man, both kick ass.
That my work touched you, and that really.
What's that? What'd you say?
I'm glad to know that my work really touched you. That really makes me feel good.
It actually did. It had a real personal effect on me. Yeah. Yep.
I got a question. What actually inspired you? Because I mean, the whole Matrix story, that's a deep story. Just that whole ideology about it. What actually inspired you to make something like that?
Well, I've read the Bible when I was a kid. I was reading the Bible and so forth, and what inspired me was the Christ story was always a phenomenal story in the Bible. And so what I wrote was the second coming of Christ. And like a lot of fans was trying to say that all the stories in the Bible, but the Matrix is not in the Bible. It's mentioned about the second coming of Christ, but the whole story, Star Wars, like the wars in heaven, made me think about the Christ story. That if Christ came back tomorrow, he'd be up against technology and the machines, because the whole story of the Christ story is the evolutions of consciousness. If you look at the Christ story in the Bible, it's telling you his walk upon the earth in the flesh is what he will become in the future. It's just like a worm crawling, and it goes into the cocoon, and then when he comes out of the cocoon, he's in his fourth-dimensional body. He's a butterfly. He's flying. The same way for the Neo character, if you see, he goes through the pod, he's cleansed of corruption, his human side dies, and he comes into his spiritual form, and then he actually metamorphoses into his fourth-dimensional body. That's why he's flying, but he's not Superman. It's the same walk for the Christ consciousness. When Jesus walked upon the earth, he went into the cave for 3 days, and he came out in his fourth-dimensional body. The disciples, they recognized his soul through his eyes, but his body was different. He had already transformed and going up into heaven. So a lot of people don't know that we go through evolution. That matrix is a Latin word for womb, meaning that we have to come through the womb, be reborn again to receive the soul. And when you come through the womb, it's like a dimensional door, because when you're in the womb, you're swimming, you're breathing water. You're like a little tadpole swimming around until you start developing. And when you come out of the womb, you're crawling just like that worm. And then you're walking, and then you're running, and then you will become in the future, the transformation that Revelations is speaking about is your fourth-dimensional body, the body that never dies. And that's what Christ was trying to show you, the walk upon the earth of what you will become in the future when you transform or metamorphose into your fourth-dimensional body. So this is what inspired me to write that story, and the oracle is me, because I felt like a female
prophet should be the one heralding the second coming of Christ, because the first coming of Christ was heralded by a male prophet, but it should be, the second coming should be a female prophet, because the feminine energy is the energy of creativity. If you look at a battery, there's only one. There's the negative charge and the positive charge, but there's only one battery. There can only be one. And that if you look at the word, it's power and authority, but his bride is wisdom and understanding. So the wisdom and the word are one. It's polarity. There is no duality. There is no devil versus God, because there's no devil that has the equal power of God. There's only one. Good and evil coexist as one, as balance, like the North Pole and the South Pole. They're polarity. They're not two things. They're one thing. Man has pulled the matrix on people's, the lies, ignorance, and illusions, and made him think that there were two, and it's only one. He's taught you duality when all he has done in this world is reverse the power. He's reversed the order of things. Look at the word live, L-I-V-E, but look at it backwards, it's E-V-I-L. But it's no two words, it's the same word. When it goes in one direction, it's L-I-V-E. When it goes backwards, it's E-V-I-L. Look at the word God, G-O-D, in one direction. Going backwards is D-O-G. Look at the word Neo. It's a clever way of calling him the One, which I named him, the One, N-E-O-O-N-E. Look at how these words that you never think about, how that, man, you get a little mirror and you look at the words and you'll see what they're really saying. Look at police. It's nothing but a poor form of lice. Police, P-O-L-I-C-E, just a poor form of lice. Poor lice. So you're not looking at these words. And look at the number 69, which is balance. And when you turn the number 6 up, or the number 9, make it go up, it's 6, Venus, love, heaven. When you turn it down, it's 9, it's Mars, it's war, it's man. But it's no two numbers. When it's up, it's 6. When it's down, it's 9. Let me hit you with a 69. It's balance, that God created balance. He didn't create any one good thing or any bad thing. He created good and bad to coexist as one. Electricity, AC/DC. One time when you're cooking and heating up your house and keeping yourself warm, your electricity is flowing in one direction. When it's burning up your food, burning you up, or burning your house down, it's flowing in the opposite direction. You can't separate the good from the bad. That's why it's ignorance to kill bodies. In a war, you're killing bodies, but you're not killing anything, because you can't get rid of bad. Bad and good coexist as one. They're not two different things. To even think that they're two is to be vanity, is vain imagining, is vanity.
Wow.
It keeps you locked in the matrix. Look at the word ounce, O-Z, and think about the movie Oz. O-Z, ounces, is how much are you going to be weighing when you're born. Because the baby, the first of the year, they want to see how many ounces the first baby is weighing. Why? Because I'm going to get a lot of work out of that baby. That baby I'm going to take over his birth certificate. It's going to be my slave. And if it's weighing 8 pounds, I'm going to get a lot of work out of it. Either you're going to labor or you're coming through faith. And then look, follow the yellow brick roads. What are you following? Following the gold. And where's Emerald City? Emerald City is green. That's the money. That's the government. That's the system. And then who's manipulating this whole system? Emerald City is the wizard. And who's the wizard? He's the architect. And who is he? He's man or mankind. And how is he exposed? By nature. And what is nature? The little dog Toto. Pull the curtains back, and there's the wizard with the machines, with the booming voice and the illusions and the ignorance. And all the people in Emerald City is scared of the wizard, but they think he's the god of this earth. And then what does Dorothy do? She's looking for a home. And where she's going? She's going to visit the wizard, the government, the system, because she needs a home. And look at the other one, the lion. He needs courage. And the other one needs the brain and so forth. The other one needs the heart. But look, God says that everything is already inside of you, so you don't have to go to the wizard or the architect or the man or mankind of this world to get anything, because everything inside of you is greater than what's outside of you, because everything outside of you are the illusions or the ignorance of the Matrix. Man has created ignorance, lies, and illusions. He's the beast that enslaves his own kind. He's what Revelation spoke of when he says, look at this number. Anyone of you that have wisdom, let him decipher this number, for it's 666 scores. It's the name of a man or his number. So man is the beast that enslaves his own kind. And it goes all the way back to Genesis. Look at Genesis. Genesis backwards is genes. So Genesis is talking about the genes. And who's born in Genesis in the Bible? God says the human beings were born first because he gave them the soul. Because when they came through the womb, they received the soul, and they were called the sons of God. And then, look, Adam and Eve was created by man. Those are the children of men because, look, Eve was taken out of the rib of Adam. That's cloning. And then look at the beast. The white ape is walking upright like man, and this is Charles Darwin's theory of how the ape evolved from man, out of a beast into a man. And look, the fallen ones, the angels that came upon the earth, they saw the white beast walking upright, and they took the Adam, not the A-D-A-M, but the A-T-O-M, and grafted a face upon him and called him mankind, or a kind of man, because they wanted to create something in their image, a kind of man or mankind. And these were called the children of the gods. How Apollo and Hercules and the Minotaurs, all of them, and Medusa, how they came upon the earth. And they were called the children of the gods. Now, you heard these terminologies, the son of God, but you didn't know they were the human beings. And you didn't know that the children of men were clones, the machines. And you didn't know who the beast was. Darwin was talking about the beasts that live among us, the warmongers, the fornicators, and the machines, the replicators and the duplicators, because they don't have any creativity. So who do they steal it from? They steal it from the human beings. And why did the clones and the drones, which are the beasts, hate the human beings? Because they had creativity. They were co-creators with God in service to God forever. Co-creators. They had choices. And when the fallen ones saw them, the human beings, they said, why did God make these monkeys to have choices when we are supernatural beings, indestructible, but yet we cannot make any choices? We're born in a cycle or a circle. Meaning if you start out in one spot, you're going to end up in the same spot, 360 degrees. That's right. A circle or a cycle. The seasons. The elements. The seed comes into the earth and it comes up in June and spring. It's reborn. But then it goes to fall, spring, and winter. It goes back to decay and everything, and it comes back up. And then so does the elements, fire, water, air, and the earth and sun. They're all in cycles. The animals, the insects, they all have to obey the cycles. Even the angels. They have to stay in their stations. If they leave their stations, they disobey God. They cannot be destroyed, but they can be sealed into the abyss in a period of rest. But then they have to be let loose again, and then they would roam for a period, and then they have to go into rest. And you guys never looked at this, that the Bible has all of this stuff in it, and it's encoded, encrypted, in God's language, numbers. For God is speaking in numbers, ancient, sacred geometry, calculus, physics. All encoded, encrypted. That's what the Da Vinci Code was speaking about. That God's language was all numbers. And to understand what God was speaking about, you would have to understand numbers. There's no such thing as the written words. The greatest hoax ever perpetrated upon man was the book. When all the slaves were stolen out of ancient Egypt, they all knew how to create. They all knew how to count. They had never, ever heard of anything about any reading. There was never any readings. Look at, even in ancient Egypt, there were hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics is hidden knowledge. Everything was symbols and symbolized. Even the writings and stuff on the cave walls, there were no such thing as a book. It didn't exist. The book took creativity away from all the slaves that built America. They built through numbers. All architects, all engineers, they all are mathematicians. They all study math.
Right.
Wow. Gaining some knowledge.
Yeah, it's true. Everything that I'm speaking is true. The book is what happened was, the reason why the book was introduced, because after the slaves had built America and Washington, D.C. and all over, that the whites knew that they would become enslaved. They would be the slaves if the book was not introduced. The book took the creativity of the counting of the numbers away. Now look, all the great businessmen in the world, even though they're dropouts, look at some of them. Ford, Onassis. Onassis he only went to the 3rd grade. Ford, probably the 8th grade. But look at all the great drug dealers. They were all businessmen. Look at Jay-Z. Look at T.I. Look at some of them. Yeah, you could go on and on. They all know how to count. It has nothing to do with reading. All the great scholars in the world are just that, readers. But all the mathematicians and the ones that can count the money are the great businessmen of Wall Street. Because you're numbered from birth to death. You're numbered when you come into the world, you're numbered as you go out of the world.
Right.
And the only thing that matters in this world, in breaking the codes, like The Beautiful Mind in the movie says, is knowing the numbers. It has nothing to do with the book. Book doesn't really even exist. It's just another illusion of the Matrix. You can read all the books in the world, and you will never break any of the codes. But if you study math, and you go into any casinos, and you're a mathematician, they want you to leave, because you're going to break the codes and break their banks and take all their money. But they don't care about all the great scholars in the world could come there. They'll give them a picnic. They'll let them stay in there as long as they want, as long as they're talking about books and reading.
Yeah.
You're not going to break anything by reading anything.
That's a good point.
You got to understand numbers, because that breaks down all the symbolism. We don't learn things through our physical bodies. We learn things through our spirit, and our spirit knows numbers. And so when we look at television, we're looking at numbers. We're looking at codes. And all those codes that you see in the computers and the programming, all those codes are in the Bible, the binary codes. It's the Bible. It's the hieroglyphics. It comes from ancient Egypt. We are the ones that taught the Greeks and the Romans and all the other ones their math and science. Technology comes through numbers.
Interesting. We got another call on the line, another private caller, so I'm going to go ahead and mic him up. So, calling on the line, CTT, what's good with you?
Is this Mr. Incense?
Joe, what it is, man?
How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Well, this is what you get when you have open mic. Okay?
Shit, man, this is a blessing, man. This is a huge blessing, Sophia.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been listening.
I listened for a little while, then I left, and then I came back.
Man, very intelligent, super intelligent, man. This is like, man, this is something that, you know, even last week I was trying to touch y'all on that negative and positive. Remember when I was telling y'all about that?
Who's this?
About the universes? Yeah, this is Big Rich.
Big Rich?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
This is Joe.
Yeah.
You're on the line. You got Big Rich on the line. Vegas is on the line. We got somebody 323. They didn't want to talk. They still on the line. We got Liz on the line. We got Big Will on the line, and of course we have our guest tonight, which is Sophia Stewart, the original writer of The Matrix and The Terminator, and she's just sharing her story with us.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, okay.
Giving us a lot of wisdom and insight that I'm going to definitely have to look into and check into, because it's on a different aspect that I've ever...
now that's who I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear if V was on the line.
What's up, Joe?
Hey, how you doing? I just left another show, which you guys might want to hook up with later. But we'll talk later, I guess, when Sophia Stewart is it, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for Miss Stewart?
No, I'm just hearing her just tell a story and go from one instance to another instance to another instance to another instance. And I have to say The Matrix was a product of good imagination. The Terminator was a product of good imagination. And that's it for now.
Okay.
Well, it goes deeper than just imagination.
That's a bit of an understatement, but,
Yeah, you would have to be a seer to have that knowledge and understand what I'm talking about. That does not come from imagination. Trust me, if it did, there would be a lot of Matrix and Terminators out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a special gift, and it's a gift that God has given me.
Uh-huh.
And it's not something to be taken lightly or thought of as any or everybody can do it, because the oracle that you see in the Matrix is me. I based the character on myself and the gift that God had given me. That's why it was such a unique character. I created all the characters in Matrix 1, every last one of them. And a lot of the special effects that you saw in the movie came from me, like the virtue figures where their bodies were on the ship and you saw their images. That come from ancient Egypt, where the Kai splits and separates and becomes like a solid body, and it can be seen in two places at the same time.
Okay.
It just was really just a brilliant work, Sophia. I have to go, but I just, I think this is, Barack Obama's president now. I feel like this is the time, like your work will be honored in a court of law. I really, it's coming down the pike, and you're going to win and win big, and we're all going to be like jumping up and down when that happens,
Who's going to win and win big?
And that's been prophesied. Everything you just said was prophesied. Did you know that? I said everything you just said just now was prophesied, that I will win and win real big, and people will be so jumping up and down and happy, so elated about it.
What are you going to win,
victory.
She's going to win that. She's going to win the money she deserves, and the people that screwed her over are going to get their day in court there too, but not like Sophia. You know what I mean?
You got screwed by Hollywood and you're suing them. Is that the deal?
Yeah, I'm suing Hollywood, but
okay. Because I didn't hear that. I came, then I left, now I'm back. Okay.
But
yeah, Sophia wrote The Matrix and The Terminator, and she was screwed over for 20 years, and it's finally coming down. And
well, I wasn't screwed over for 20 years because I didn't know that The Terminator was stolen from me. Yeah, I didn't know until 2001, and
It's just a miracle that these people like that you didn't go postal on anybody. Really.
Well, that's a common occurrence in Hollywood.
Go get your money back if you go postal,
No, people have gotten money and went postal. There's a lot of people, because like that guy in Flash of Genius, he had a breakdown. Some people are strong, but some people are weak. Some people, you never know what they do. They'll go and kill people or kill themselves. Anything can happen. Like she said, anything can happen.
But the term I know as postal is people going in and going postal. And, I don't really see you getting anything from going postal,
Oh, no, I wouldn't go postal, because that's not my walk. My walk is to show people that they can stand for truth and receive everything.
Right.
They don't have to kill anybody. They don't have to harm anybody. They can just take back their property, reverse the order of things, because God is telling everybody that the illusion here in the Matrix is a reversal of order, and if you want to do something right, just reverse the order back to truth. If someone is lying, then you tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you win, by reversing things, not by... If someone is harming you and then you go harm them, then you become them. You haven't
accomplished anything in the world. You want to accomplish something in the world and make a very big, positive victory in the world, then you reverse the order of things. You stand for truth.
Mm-hmm.
But you want them to go to jail, right?
Well, they're going to jail because of their own action. It has nothing to do with what I want. It's what you reap what you sow in this world.
Right.
If you did something that you deserve to go to jail, then you deserve to go to jail, and it has nothing to do with me, because you're the one that perpetrated the action, and what I want is irrelevant, but what you reap is what you sown, and that's what the Bible says.
So before I go, I'm sorry. Do you work for? Is there a way we can email you at a firm, or would you rather not give out any kind?
Yeah,
of
you can email me. If anybody wants to email me, can email me at this lowercase altogether, Sophia Stewart, the number 10 at yahoo.com, and that's SOPHIA STEWART 10 at yahoo.com. It's all lowercase running together. Sophia Stewart, the number 10 at yahoo.com.
Thanks, Sophia.
And you got to let us know when you start selling, all the other stuff that I guess you was talking about selling, the Matrix and Matrix 4.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to have Matrix. I'm going to have a lot of Matrix and Terminator merchandise that I'm going to be selling when I go and do my tour, because I'm going to be going on tour soon, and autographing and book touring and so forth.
Cool.
So I will let people know, but anybody can Yahoo me.
You coming to LA?
I'm very close to LA right now because I live in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I know.
So LA, I come to LA all the time.
Cool. Well, I'll email you. I want to know when you come to a book signing. I'll get a book from you. You can sign it.
Oh, that'll be great. I will let people know, but people will know anyway, because I was going to say they can go into the search engine and put Sophia Stewart in there, and there's should be 5 or 6 million hits on me, and there's a lot on Google, the Google page, a search engine also. But so you can find out what I'm doing. I have some websites and MySpace and so forth.
Okay, I'll check that out then. Hey, thank you, Sophia. It was really an honor to have this privilege of talking with you tonight. And
nice meeting you.
Yeah, our hopes, our prayers, our thoughts, everything is with you. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen big.
Yes, thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, we'll definitely email you. And thank you, sir, for having this conversation open like this.
No problem. Thanks for calling in, Liz, and don't be a stranger. We're on every Thursday.
Oh, really? What's your name again?
Yeah.
Is every Thursday you have a different guest? Is that it?
BTT. We have guests periodically. It just depends on, what we got going on with the schedule. But
what am I going to be a guest?
Oh, man. Yeah, guest, man. You family dude now, so it's like you'll never be a guest.
I know. I'm only teasing. I'll be.
Do you have a website we can look at your guests or anything, or do you just do it spur of the moment every Thursday?
No. It's everything's listed on Vintage Music.
Okay.
It's music with the K.info. And then, of course, you can go to blogtalkradio.com/vintage music with the K. And we usually have a list of, it's a weekly list of every show that we got going. Because we do primarily music, but we have specialty shows, and we're actually adding a little more shows.
I don't tune in during the week except for Thursday because the other guys have music. So I like political shows, and
this is my favorite show right here. I tell you, this is Big Rich. This one I stay up for. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. We got some more other specialty shows coming, so just stay tuned in.
Have
Lizzie,
a great night.
do you have a show called Media Lizzie? Are you the Media Lizzie?
Wait, you talking to me?
Yeah.
No. Do I have a show called Media Lizzie? No.
No. Okay.
Maybe one day in the future, but not at this very moment in time.
All right.
All right. You guys have a good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, you too. Yeah, we want to appreciate.
I was going to ask Sophia another question. I was going to ask her with the Matrix for the movie that you're going to be putting out. Will it be are you going to have the same characters at least the same actors in this movie that you got coming out, or not?
Yes, I'm definitely. We're going to shoot for that. I got some really big people behind me. I can't at liberty right now to give out their names until the press release comes out. I'm just touching on it a little bit so people will know that that billion-dollar franchise is not going to be gathering dust anymore.
Will Marcus Chong be returning in this one?
Well, I would love to have him back. I spoken to him several times. He didn't mention it to you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I actually asked because I had heard about you probably a month prior to his interview, probably 2 months prior to his interview, and we just interviewed him like about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a little more. But I asked him if he knew you, and he said he was familiar with you, whatever. We didn't really get too deep into it, because of course he was airing out his angers and frustrations of what he's been going through. So
he and I had a nice discussion too. Yeah.
Well, I hope you don't think that I'm just airing out my anger and frustration, because I don't have anger and frustration. I'm mainly educating people. I'm a paralegal and an author and a writer, so I feel that it's really my job to educate people and not air out any anger or frustration. So I hope you guys don't think that's coming from me, because that's definitely not my agendas or anything like that. I've been interviewing since October 17, 2003, when ABC broke my story, and I think I've done just about every kind of medium, magazine and newspaper. A lot of people don't even know I've done over 4,000 interviews and counting.
Wow.
That's right. I've done ABC, BET, Source, Vibe, Black Enterprises, Essence, Uptown Magazine, done Devo, CNN News, Rolling Stone Magazine, you name it. MTV, I've done it. So I've done quite a lot of media.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying my first interview was August the 12th, 2002, and that was Greensboro, North Carolina, when a DJ broke my story, during prime time or 6 p.m., so.
How do you reconcile doing a movie with the people that screwed you?
They didn't screw me. Some things happen for the glory of God. Some things are meant to be that way. They have not screwed me because I didn't accept any money, and because I want the credit. A lot of people need to see that movie Flash of Genius so they can understand that people are not being screwed. It's just that you need to fight for your credit, and the truth is these people need to stop being greedy.
No,
and a lot of the actors and people the actors didn't steal anything from me. They just went in there and did a job like anybody. Just, they don't know who's stealing what when they go in to do a job unless they're party to the, they've got a part of the movie.
Right. I thought you were suing them. I thought you were suing them for money. My misunderstanding. I didn't know what it was about then.
When you sue for credit. A lot of people don't understand that. That's why I'm trying to educate people that these people offer you money all day long. You're not going in there fighting for money. You're actually going in there fighting for credit. The money and everything is in the credit, because you do royalties, and this is stuff that's due you because that's your work. It's just like if you go to work for, like right now, you're working for a radio station, you expect to be paid. You don't expect to go in there and work for free. You know what I'm saying? And if you had to fight them, you're not fighting them. If you file a lawsuit because they stole something from you, you want to be credited, and the money is in the credit, because a lot of people will come and work with you that they know they can make money with you. Just like, say, for instance, a lot of the rappers team up with each other, T-Pain and Lil Wayne. They're going to make money together. Now, if somebody is a fake, and then they're a fake Lil Wayne and T-Pain, he can't make any money with a fake person. He's got to be with the real Lil Wayne. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah,
right. Well, he can make money, but he can just
you can't make money. Well, you can't make money with somebody who doesn't have a gift, and they're lying. Okay.
Right. Like a bootlegger.
Yeah, like exactly. You gotta make money
so far.
Yeah, you got to make money with the real thing. And like, say for instance, now it's declared in the court that I am the real writer of the Matrix and Terminator. Well, a lot of people is waiting for this. Directors and producers, they want to come and work with me and make more billions of dollars.
Right.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, you're the original, you know, like
that. You want the credit, right? So that you can get your due royalties, you can get the due.
Yeah, you get your royalties, and you get to continue your work because
and then
people will come and work with you. Like Jerry Bruckheimer, he'll call you up and say, Sophia, let's do another sequel of the Matrix. Let's do another deal of the Terminator. They know they're going to make a lot of money because they're going to get the real gift.
What's their argument? What's their argument for saying that you're not the creator?
They've never said that. That's the whole point. You never read it in any magazine or any newspapers. They own everything. You never see them. They have never said Sophia Stewart is not the writer of the Matrix or the Terminator. Where have you read it anywhere? Have you seen it?
No.
Show me, because I would love to see it.
All right. Look, all I'm asking is that you sued them. You're suing them for credit. They're resisting your lawsuit, and I'm presuming...
They're not resisting my lawsuit. How are they resisting my lawsuit? When did they resist it?
So you're suing them. They're not resisting, and how come you haven't gotten your credit yet?
Because I'm still in the courtroom because, look, the first case got fixed. Have you, like when somebody say that someone contrived a malpractice lawsuit, do you know what contriving a malpractice lawsuit and committing fraud is?
I can guess.
Well, guess. Let me hear you guess.
That it didn't go the way it should have been according to law.
Exactly. They didn't follow the law. They followed their own legal, they created their own greedy end, like to shut down something. But a lot of people do that, don't they? They come in and they'll try to shut something down.
I just wanted the details. You said that you're suing them. They're not resisting you. But have you gone to court
yet? No, they're
not
resisting me.
Okay.
We're getting ready to set the trial December the 17th.
So you haven't been in court yet then?
Getting ready to do the trial December the 17th.
Okay. All right.
The will of justice, look, the will of justice turns slow. Everybody knows that. And everybody would like to have instant gratification. Even babies like instant gratification. But the reality is for adults and humans is that the law of justice turns slow. But when you get the victory, well, it's phenomenal. Look, Obama, it took him a while to get into the White House. He didn't get in there overnight. It just looked like that overnight because he won. And when I win, it's going to look like it happened overnight. You get what I'm saying?
What do you expect their case to be like?
What do I expect their case to be like? Could you elaborate on that?
Sure. They don't have a case.
Thank you. They really don't.
They don't have a case.
They don't have a case. He's telling you the truth.
I guess because Joe didn't really, he didn't get to where you broke it down earlier about the case.
I didn't.
How you had gone through the whole thing about them, trying to throw out your case and pretty much frauding that story. He didn't really get any of that. So
I didn't get any details. So that's what I was asking.
I'm sorry because I didn't know that you didn't get any details. Because if you had said you were not on earlier,
that's right, I wasn't
speaking about it, I could have, elaborated and told you that the reason why they keep you from going to trial is because they can't enter any fraudulent evidence in there. Any fraudulent evidence is going to send you to jail. So. They don't have a case, just like you said. They tried to shut it down, and I moved the case to Utah. And, they got a lot of corrupted and crooked judges in California, and they never expected the case to be transferred to Utah. They tried to get it changed to California. They tried to get it dismissed. They couldn't.
Right. So your civil case is that you're going to try to present the case that you're the writer, you're the creator, and you're going to have to present evidence, and they're going to have to present either counter evidence or they're going to have to try to make you out to be the fraudulent one. So I'm just wondering, I don't know if you've been involved in...
I just told you that, I just explained to you, you just said how you think the process worked. But if you have fraudulent copyrights, you're not going to enter anything into a courtroom. Am I missing something?
I'm missing something because you say there's a court date coming up. So if you have to present evidence, and they have to present evidence, right?
Look, this is the deal. When you set a trial date, let me give him the procedure of the court date because he's thinking about television. It don't work like television. It works a little different. What happens is you set a trial date, and then you do deposition, you do discovery. You do depositions, you do investigations, and you get your stuff all lined up. Now, they can settle out if they know they're going to go to trial. They don't want to go to trial. Do you see what I'm saying? They know what's going to happen if they go to trial. That's what they that's what they prevented me from in the first place.
Right.
I keep trying to tell people. Mm-hmm. Right, you set a trial date, then you do discovery. Discovery is deposition and gathering your evidence and investigating. But a lot of people can settle out before they even get to that level or at that point. Do you see what I'm saying now?
I thought you did depositions and investigation before you had a trial date.
No, you got to set a trial date first, and then you do discovery. Like we're doing some discovery right now.
Right.
And we're getting ready to set our trial date, December the 17th.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but I'm saying we do discovery before, all the time. You're preparing your case, but I'm saying, but you really start doing discovery after you set a trial date. But I'm just saying that when you're in the process and you file a lawsuit, you're always getting everything lined up.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Period. That's just understandable. That's just common sense.
Yeah. So basically. Do you or does your lawyer have any idea of how they're going to combat your case?
I just told you that we got everything that we...
Forget about they don't have a case. I don't want to hear that again. All I want to hear is this. I want to hear...
He's just like most people who don't understand the process.
Yeah, that's right. I don't understand.
It from television. He understands it from television because you know how they show stuff on television, but... all of that stuff, like on television, is not the way it really happens.
Forget about television. Let's say I don't know a damn thing about television. What I'm asking is, what is your understanding of what might happen if you go to court? What is their particular case?
I'm going to win. Let me tell you. Okay, I'm going to win.
No problem.
I'm going to win the lawsuit. If I go to court, I'm going to win, and they're going to lose.
Okay.
And they're going to
jail. Now, you want to ask more specific questions, and I'll give you the answer.
I'm trying, but you keep going back to, can't do it.
All right, man. We got some more callers on, so we're gonna try to move on a little bit. Basically, this is what I would suggest because she actually broke it down a lot. More in depth earlier, whatever.
Listen to the archives, right?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and rewind it back because it was kind of lengthy too. So you know what I'm saying. It's coming up on 20 minutes, and we got a few callers on the line too. So 323, I think I see you again. So I'm gonna try to mic you on and see if we can get you on this time. So 323, you're on the line.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we got you.
Oh, how you doing? Well,
good?
one thing that was coming through my mind about this whole thing, I've heard her on several different occasions speak, and I just wanted to know why didn't the FBI just give the files to the Copyright Office? I mean, the whole thing, court case wouldn't be needed if they just turned over the files to the FBI. If the FBI just turned over the files to the Copyright Office, it's not even a need for a case. It seems like to me that it's very simple to do, but I'm just wondering why the government branches won't share information and why so many years to hold on to a file. Is that a very good...
And you're absolutely right, because I never did elaborate on that to the people. If we had gone to trial in the first case, in the California federal case, when they had all these people, the judge and all the lawyers working with them against me, the judge being an officer of the court, she would have had to report the fraudulent copyrights, because I told the crooked former lawyers of mine to enter their copyrights, their DVDs, their CDs, and all that, all that stuff that pertains to the Matrix and the Terminator, enter it into the court system. And of course, they didn't do that because they knew that was going to send Warner Brothers and Fox and all these other people, Joe Silvers and the Wachowskis, to jail. Because once the judge saw those documents, he's being a federal judge, she would have to get in touch with the Copyright Office and report the fraud to them. So you're absolutely right. That would have won the case and ended the case. But again, my former lawyers would not enter those documents and those CDs and movies and so forth and copyrights into the court system. Now, if the FBI did that right now, that would just end that case in Utah for me and send them to jail automatically. And we are in the process of looking into that.
So it sounds like maybe somebody's in cahoots with somebody over at the FBI, or what?
When you talk about money, somebody's always in cahoots with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
dealing with money.
Yeah, when it's dealing with $8 billion, you gotta realize there's a lot of crooked somebody.
Yeah, there's a lot of crooked people when you're talking about big money. Now, when you talk about little money, a couple $1 million, that's nothing. But when you talk about big money like billions and hundreds of millions and that type of money, you're going to have people that's going to be in cahoots that's in high places, very, very high places.
And he's absolutely right, because you can buy FBI agents for $25,000. There are agents that have gone to jail where mobsters' wives and different people have paid $25,000 and $30,000 for them to do different things, and they've done it. So you can pay just about anybody. If you got $8 billion, you pay off a lot of people.
And a good example of that is that what you have to understand is that you have drugs that's coming into this country. Now, why do drugs keep coming in this country? We had a war on drugs for the last 500 million years. But the drugs keep coming in. The drugs keep coming in because you got people in high places that's getting paid. Simple as that.
And that's true. And you're absolutely right. You're telling the
And they're going to keep on coming in. They're going to keep on coming in, and ain't nobody going to put a stop to it, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
There's too much money in the drug trade. So it's the same thing, Like with the movies, it's the same thing.
If you legalize drugs, they'll stop it, because they legalized alcohol, so the prohibition got eliminated, and the profit motive got out of it, and the gangs didn't have to kill people. Same thing with the war on drugs. So if you legalized it, even though there'd be a lot of uproar about, people would get hooked a lot more easily. Yeah. That might happen at the very beginning, but it wouldn't happen if they legalized it.
Now, like when they took my movie, I didn't have no evidence. So my fight would be like completely. She has the original documents, the original copyrights is in her name. It's only in her name.
Is that what you said, Sophia?
Yeah,
he's telling you the truth. He's absolutely right. The copyrights
are 81 and 82. So
81, 83, and 84.
Yeah, they're fraudulently put copyrights in 92 and 93. That's like almost 10 years later.
Mm.
And that's why they don't have a case. And that's why they don't have a case.
That's why they don't want to enter no information in the court, because once you do that, you better believe you're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Well, that makes sense. If for them not to want to go to jail, not to go to a court date, if they know that the evidence on the other side, namely Sophia, has the evidence which could, it wouldn't send the prosecuting attorneys to jail. It would probably send the Wachowski brothers, however you pronounce it, to jail, whoever is responsible for giving them the idea that some sort of writer was responsible. But that's what
I think that was Joe Silvers. I think Joe Silvers was the one that was responsible to have the Wachowskis lie and put their names on stolen property, because you see Joe Silvers didn't put his name on it. You see none of the Alan Horn or any of Warner Brothers executives put their name on the stolen property. They just got these two dudes that were kind of stupid, like, you know what I'm talking about, put their names on it and told them, well, don't worry, you won't be ever allowed to do any interviews, because once they do any interviews, those are depositions, you're caught on tape lying like Milli Vanilli did a couple of years back. You're caught and you committed fraud. You're not going to live that down. You're not going to walk away into the sunset. So, you know, whoever heard of you don't do interviews, and whoever heard of there's people explaining your work and the actors explaining your work, writers just don't let that happen. And then writers don't go out and buy other people's work and say they wrote a genius work like The Matrix. So I had, like, not only did I have 2 copyrights, 81, 83, 84, because one of them was 81, 83, and the other one 84, and I had FBI documentations and evidence and registered return receipts, letters of access, and everything. A lot of people don't even know that I had the whole 9 yards in the book. People who bought the book got to see the physical evidence, and they were, like, blown away.
Did you submit your ideas to somebody directly in Hollywood, or is it that they saw something that you wrote and then...
No. I submitted the form of treatment. There was a form of script like the movie treatment and the book directly to Fox Studios and directly to the Wachowskis and directly to the Church of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard. These people got my work, and they got the notice that the work was copyrighted. They knew exactly who I was and everything when I came and called them. They offered me money immediately. That never happens. I'm trying to tell you, unless they already know who you are. And they were worried. They told me it was a lot of people involved. I'm thinking that they're talking about a lot of different executives involved. I didn't know that they were talking about, like, the Scientology Church was involved, and Fox was involved, and, you know, just various ones. James Cameron, Gail Ann Hurd, the Wachowski brothers, I knew, you know what I'm saying, but Governor Schwarzenegger on in 5%, just like he just said, the guy was talking about. People in high places own percentage of the Matrix. Some of the judges probably own, like seeing Judge Morrow, she's a Scientologist judge. She probably owned a percentage of the Matrix and Terminator through the church or something. You know what I'm saying? The church probably owns a good part of it, and they probably got Warner Brothers to distribute it, you know?
Yeah, who do they credit as being the writer or the screenwriter?
For the Terminator, the James Cameron, if you pull up the copyrights, James Cameron is just part of the title. He's not even acknowledged as the author. The ghostwriter is supposed to be Gail Ann Hurd. It's supposed to be owned by Pacific Western and Hemdale Films. They're supposed to be these, because when you...
Well, I know James Cameron was the director of The Terminator, yeah. Right?
Yeah, but James Cameron is supposed to be, when they did the media blitz, they lied and said Cameron was the writer. But when you pull up the copyright, it doesn't read as Cameron as being the writer. It says on the copyright, if you pull it up, I can send you a copy of it. It says that James Cameron is part of the title. Like, the name of the whole title of the movie is Terminator by James Cameron and Gail Ann Hurd. That's the title. Then when you look into the ownership, it says owned by Pacific Western and Hemdale Films. And then you look at who wrote it, it says ghostwriter Gail Ann Hurd.
Ghostwriter Gail Ann Hurd. Okay.
That's right. It's all written up exactly the way I'm saying it to you.
Have you spoken with Gail?
I've never spoken to Gail Ann Hurd, but I know she was the one that did the primary theft of it. She got it from her friend Susan Mesbeck. What happened was I sent it to Fox. When I sent it to Fox, Susan Mesbeck, she's a vice president. She intercepted it. She called up her buddy Gail Ann Hurd. Gail Ann Hurd made this dummy company called Pacific Western and stole the movie treatment and put it under there, like on a constructive trust.
Yeah.
She put the treatment on a constructive trust. And then what happened was they called up Roger Corman, because Roger Corman was the one that was doing these old science fiction movies. And if you look at the first Terminator, you see Roger Corman's, his whole fingerprint is right there. Because if anybody in Hollywood knows directors and producers' work, you can see they all got the same style. Once you see their work, you know who's done that work. Yeah. And then James Cameron was kind of like doing, I guess, an internship under Corman. trying to learn how to direct. And Gail Ann Hearn was going with him, and he had done some kind of little project that when he was in school, one of the film schools. And so he decided to lie and said he wrote it, for the publicity, and he gave her $1 so he could direct it. Now, who sells 50% of the Terminator for $1 so you can direct it and give other 50% is sold to Hemdale Films, and Gail Ann Hearn is the one getting all the money. She gets all the money, and she marries James Cameron, so they can't talk, they can't testify against each other. And they expected me to come in the 80s, but I never saw the Terminator movie. So that threw a monkey wrench in their plans because, you can't contrive something because it never worked out. If something happened naturally, it happens naturally. So they didn't expect me to come in 1999. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They didn't expect the year 2003 that the lawsuit would be filed against them. They expected it back in the early 80s, but I never saw the movie.
So pretty much, do you think they forgot about it, or they thought you just wouldn't?
Well, they thought they got away with it because of the statutes of limitations. They thought they got away with it, so they relaxed their guards and they just forgot about it. And when people think they got away with something, but there's always these technicalities that no matter what, you can't have the perfect crime. Let me give you a good example. There was these killers who came in and killed these people in the house, and they washed down the house and they cleaned it up. They even put the dishes in the dishwasher, and they thought they got away with the murder. But what happened? They forgot to turn on the dishwasher, so they all got caught. Well, there's no perfect crime. Look what I'm saying. When you think that you've done something to perfection, you always forget something. The Murphy law kicks in. Yeah. Whatever can happen will happen. So there's no perfect crime.
And my only evidence I had in my case, well, I don't even have a case, but in my situation, is that I got phone records that I had kept.
Well, you need to keep those phone records. Let me tell you something. You need to keep those phone records because if you talk to a lawyer, there might be something can be done about yours. Look, don't give up because you didn't write it out physically. You don't have to write it out physically. You just need to have some kind of proof that will attach, and then you never know because people have conscience every day. There are people that blackmail people every day, and there might be somebody who will tell on them. What I
was going to do was the girl that I initially was talking to that I was actually seeing that worked for Dr. Phil. I was going to get old girl number because she's the one that originally referred me to her, to the Hollywood scriptwriter, and I was going to get her back on a conversation and I was going to at least at the minimum try to tell her, hey, I got a new idea, new movie. I got like 4 movies already in my head, but I would never tell her.
I know you were going to set her up, but I know you're telling me you were going to set her up and stuff, but you don't really got to go that. You don't really got to go that route. I mean, if you would just take time and talk to some lawyer about it, they got investigators that can dig up people. Because, see, this is the deal. Do you know how most people get caught anyway? The only people that kind of get away for a minute is serial killers, for a minute. But they always get caught, too. But they get away a lot longer than the other people because they got closed mouths and they do stuff by themselves. Now, anybody that commits a robbery or steals something with other people is going to get caught. Yeah. That's just the law. That's just the law of it. The only reason why it's not revealed right away because they're blackmailing the other people. It's just like this: 5 people steal together. They go rob a bank. Well, 3 of the people has already spent their money, and the other 2 are still holding on to their money. But the 3 that's already spent their money is blackmailing the 2 that got money. You see what I'm talking about? That's why it hasn't been revealed yet. But as soon as one of them get popped, he's going to reveal. He's going to tell on everybody.
Yeah, he is.
And there's a lot of people that brag about stuff in prison, and that's how a lot of their cases get solved and how everything. It doesn't matter if something happened 20 years ago. They still get popped. Look, the people that bombed the church in Alabama and killed those little black girls, They all went to jail when they were like, some of them was 65 and 40 and 50 years old. It didn't matter that justice, took place 20 or 30 years later. They still went to jail. Some of them had already died of cancers and car wrecks. They had wretched death. Because everything, divine justice catches up with you, or you get what's coming to you. And people need to know that crime does not pay. It eventually catch up with you, but it doesn't pay. Some of the serial killers like Jeffrey Dahmer, he killed all those people, and then he thinks he gets away with it. He gets life. The judge gives him life. He doesn't even kill him. He gives him life. But as soon as he gets in jail, a man beats him in the head with a hammer and kills him. Right. So you really don't escape anything. It just looks like you're getting away with it, but you don't. It catches up with you.
Okay, I don't mean to cut you off, but we're running like 2 minutes before the show ends, and I want to get some plugs in. I actually just got a text from our owner, and basically saying we've been listened by some Fox people, and that this show will be on the news tomorrow or whatever. So.
Wow. Well, that's great. It needs to be on the news because a lot of stuff is covered here, and a lot of things that people needed to know.
Right. Well, go ahead and give the listeners your info again, as far as your websites, your email, and whatnot.
If anybody want to see me, they can MySpace. I'm on MySpace, Sophia Stewart 1. And if you want to, Yahoo me in the search engine, you can look me up. But please give me an email. Sophia Stewart is SOPHIASTEWART10 welcome you to email me. Let's talk. And thank you guys for having me on.
I really want to talk to you too about my little situation. So I want to get in contact. This is Big Rich. You can reach me on through Brandon or whatever.
Yeah, well, send me, if you could send me your phone number or something, and we can talk. I'll help you. Definitely help you. Okay.
Yeah,
and thank you guys again.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, it was an honor.
It's a pleasure hearing your story, man. And I know we've had a lot of listeners. Some people I wasn't able to mic up, but hey, come back and run the show, and you're welcome to come on Vintage Music Radio, CTT, anytime, And we gonna share your story, and yes, we do this for free, so we don't get paid, and we ain't trying to get paid, so anybody.
Well, I would love to come back. So if you guys would like to have me back coming up soon, I would love to come back and really give even more information on how the Matrix was created and the special effects and graphics, and any kind of legal advice I can give all the people to help them.
Oh yeah, sure. Matter of fact, I would like to try to get you on with Marcus too. Marcus at the same time.
Well, why don't you do that? That would be phenomenal. Put us on, and put me on with Marcus. That'd be great. And I want to give a shout out to Obama. Wonderful Obama. I mean, I'm glad to be alive to see this day. I mean, I anticipated it. In Scripture, it says what was on the bottom was to come to the top. And Scripture was fulfilled, and I'm glad to live to see that day of the fulfillment of the Scripture.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
So for y'all, that's what I would like to. Okay.
Were you going to say what now? What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just wanted to thank you too. I'm going to check out your MySpace page because I'm here in Vegas also, and I swear you sound really familiar. I'm pretty sure we probably haven't met anywhere, but you do sound very familiar to me.
Well, what's your name?
Vernell, my last name is Whitney.
No, I've never met you. I would remember that name. I have a photographic memory. But anyway, you probably heard me on some interviews. I've done a lot of interviews here in Vegas and red carpets in a Vegas magazine. I did the red carpet with Lawrence Fishburne. There's pictures of he and I on MySpace and Amazon. And YouTube. People need to go to YouTube.com and put in Sophia Stewart and listen to me. Yeah. So I've done, different media interviews, so that's probably where you know me from, or my voice.
Yeah, the voice sounds really familiar to me. It's kind of scary.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Brandon, you want to go ahead and say something? I know you mic'd up, so.
Yeah, so Sophia, this is Brandon. I'm pretty much the guy in charge of Vintage Music Radio, but I just want to thank you and Yvonne as well for for being able to, you know, spotlight your situation and your trials and everything that you actually had to go endure dealing with what you're dealing with. So, you know, I actually got in contact with some people, and some people contacted me. So as far as, you know, this being on, you know, I'm pretty sure Fox News and or E, you know, E or something like that, be it if it's on the cable channels or whatever, it's a good look, because at the end of the day, a lot of people do need to get this particular type of situation out in the forefront. So, you know, I'm glad we was able to provide that for you, you know.
Oh, thank you very much, Brandon. Thank you. And if anybody else want to do some interviews with me, tell them I'm available. I'd love to do interviews.
Hey, I got a show tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Okay, I'll do that show for you. Get in touch with
Big Rich, Blog Talk.
Set it up, Rich. I'll set it up. Rich.
Yeah, okay, he's gonna set it up for you.
I'll set it up for you.
Okay.
I'll set it up for you, no worries. But Sophia, once again, sweetheart, I definitely appreciate you being on the show, and you know, like I said, turning a lot of heads, because I think you actually did that tonight.
It's marked, it's branded, you now have been exposed. Your view expanded, so now just use your soul. So theorists introducing a dude that's on his grind. Conspiracy theory, Thursdays has music for your mind. No matter where you are at 11, tune in your dial to CTT and them boys with soul who rep their style. Soul Quest on the track, Shy Pete on the flow, Kenny Brown on the hook, Mr. Instance on with the show. You got something to say, it's been burning your mind. It's conspiracy theory, it's here to help your eyes. Go ahead and call the show, Mr. Instance the host. Don't be afraid to speak it, because anything goes. You got something to say, it's been burning your mind. It's conspiracy theory, it's here to help your eyes. Go ahead and call the show, Mr. Instance the host. Don't be afraid to speak it, because anything